Hey Glam Fam. Okay, so today I'm kind of excited because I'm gonna be doing a first impressions and review of this new NYX Swear by 40 color palette. When I first saw the price, I was like, excuse me, skirt skirt, like what are you talking about? $40 for some NYX. This is the look that I created with the eyeshadow palette, so good news. But on top of that, they also came out with a Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer to go along with their Alyssa Ashley collab foundation. And I have the concealer on, so if you're interested in seeing the process of how this worked out, then stay tuned. Okay, so I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I do have slightly hooded lids and my eyes crease in different places on either eye, so I just want to make sure that I'm giving this eyeshadow a really good shot. So it has, I actually really like this, it has a little button here that you press it and it pops open the lid, because sometimes these like plastic containers are kind of hard to open, especially if you have nails, to kind of figure out which is which. So I'm just gonna go in with that ivory color all over the lid. I'm gonna pick up this bright yellow color. And initially there is like not a lot of kickback in the pan, but it does dust off nicely. And I'm just gonna go into my crease and like really bring the color up. Let's see how deep I can get with this mustardy shade. I'm gonna go in with the same brush and just go like right underneath that yellow. So I'm gonna go in with this kind of lime green like kind of color, and I'm gonna pop that right against that mustard shade. It's kind of like a really dark teal color on the same brush. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna pop that on the outer corner and drag it into the crease. Dual-ended brush that comes in like the palette, and I'm just gonna take that and drag it in between the yellow and that green, just to make sure that everything is blended together nicely. And I want to add back a little bit of that lighter green. And I'm going to go right back in between the yellow and that darker green. And go back right into that deeper teal green shade. And I'm just gonna intensify that color again. For the lid, I'm gonna go in with this nice beautiful green color right there. I'm just gonna take that right on the lid. Ooh, it is pigmented for sure. That's beautiful, actually. Okay. And I'm gonna grab, I feel like adding a little bit of like an orangey tone, but like not too. So I'm gonna grab this one. It's like a orangey red, like a burnt red. I'm gonna take the same Real Technique brush that I had the darker green on, and whatever's left over, I'm just gonna buff those two colors together. And that's just gonna change the tone of the green a little bit. It's gonna give it more of like a brown green appearance, which is what I originally wanted. So far, the only fallout that I'm really noticing is from the shimmer. I didn't really have any fallout from the other colors, which is really good. I did my foundation and my brows. I have on Teint Idole Ultra from Lancome in the color 410, mixed with a little bit of Estee Lauder Double Wear in the color Cashew. So now I'm gonna try the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. I didn't use the foundation because I got it in the summer and it's way too dark for me right now. So I'm just gonna try the concealer with foundations that I wear on the regular that I really like and I know how they perform. So I got it a little bit lighter, so that's gonna be a little bit more of a highlighting shade for me. We're gonna go right in, and that is super yellow and super thick. Wow, that is really thick. And it's not the easiest thing in the world to blend out, cannot lie to you, compared to like the concealer that I normally use, which is the Cover FX concealer. Tiny little bit. Do one line because this shit thick. And like, do you see that it like barely moves from where you put it? Like, you really have to firmly pounce to get it to move. Or actually, I'll put a little bit of powder like right below my lower lash line, but I'm not gonna bring it all the way up because I want my lower lash line to be a little bit tacky for the shadows. Oh, so I am noticing some slight creasing where I didn't put the powder. And I'm gonna take an orangey shade. So I'm gonna take this like burnt orange color. And then I'm just gonna take that same fluffy brush and I'm gonna go back in with that first yellow that I used, the bright one. And I'm just gonna graze the very edge of the smoked out portion. And I'm gonna go in with the yellow gold color first, dry. And I'm gonna pop that right on the inner corner and blend it into the green of that like white gold color, just right on the very inner corner. Take that same ivory color that I used in the very beginning all over, and I'm just gonna pop that right on my brow bone. Okay, so here are my final thoughts on the palette. So all in all, I used 9 colors. I didn't have an issue with not a single one, which is amazing. You know, I was very skeptical about this palette because it was $40. You get 40 eyeshadows, so basically it's about $1 an eyeshadow, which isn't bad considering that there are single shadows out there for $20 each. The darker shades, on the other hand, I feel like are more of like a buildable shade. Like, you will get the intensity out of it, but you have to build it up. I feel like though, if you're more inexperienced with makeup, like if you're just getting into it, this is very friendly for you because you have the opportunity to build, and it's easier than just going in and messing up with a darker color and then you're kind of screwed. And you have to start over. And one thing that I do really appreciate about this yellow is that it didn't oxidize as bad as I was expecting. I don't know what it is with yellow eyeshadow, but whenever you put on a yellow eyeshadow, it goes on super vibrant, and then a few minutes later it's darker. Like, it's not vibrant, it's not neon like you wanted it to be. I wish that the yellow was a little bit dark, a little bit brighter, but it looks good either way. So there's that. The shimmers were actually amazing. I didn't have to wet my brush at all for any of the shimmer colors, and I used 3 of them. You know, I went in with one of my favorite packing brushes, and that's all I had to do. I didn't have to add any, you know, spray or nothing like that. So I definitely feel like this NYX palette is an investment piece. It's $40, but it's gonna be worth it. There wasn't a ton of fallout. There wasn't a lot of kickback. The colors are pigmented, so it's worth it. Like, why wouldn't you get it? This palette impressed me, so I'm looking forward to trying some more. Now moving on to the concealer. Like the foundation, the concealer is super matte. Okay, I used a good amount. It was super thick. Like, if you think Shape Tape is thick, no. That concealer was super thick. It gave me good coverage, and I feel like, although I was a little bit like, I don't know how I feel about it being so yellow, I feel like the fact that it was so yellow actually helped color correct underneath my eyes. It was super yellow. She is yellow, like pure yellow. It literally looks like a color corrector, and that worried me because I'm not one to really throw on yellow color corrector under my eyes. I like a good concealer that has a nice balance between yellow and pink. You know, the pink to kind of help mask the darkness, and then a little bit of yellow to help brighten. I'm not one of those people that's like crazy about the yellow, so I actually really like it. It went on really smooth. It's pretty full coverage. It looks beautiful. Like, it sits nicely on the skin. I set it with Mercier translucent powder, and it looks good. I was scared that it was gonna get very crepey because it is so matte. I wasn't sure how it would react with the powder, especially on me because my under eyes can get a little bit dry. So $9, that's pretty good. You get a good amount of product. 0.11 fluid ounces, which is like around a normal concealer amount. So I'm not mad at it at all. I'm actually very happy. I'll do a little close-up so you guys can get a good look at everything, but good job, NYX.